Keir Starmer's move to bring in mandatory digital ID has been branded the mark of the beast by El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele. Starmer had laid out his plans for the digital ID, saying it was to counter illegal immigration.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict.
Commenting on X, the Salvadoran president quoted from the Bible, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Mr. Bukele has taken a disliking to the UK's free speech crisis. The verses explain that this mark is a compulsory sign of loyalty to the beast's authority. Recently, he responded to the British government's warning that users should think before they post, saying, "Never again will the West lecture us on democracy, human rights or free speech." Under Mr. Bukele's leadership, he claims El Salvador has gone from one of the most violent and dangerous countries in the world to the safest in the Western Hemisphere in just 6 years. He launched an uncompromising crackdown on cartels and gangs, which has earned him stiff criticism from Western media, who accused the president of human rights abuses. Recently, he clashed with the BBC, accusing Britain of arbitrarily arresting people for speech.
Now, I would assume that the criticism may come from a hypothetical country that doesn't have any arrest of innocents. But I'm sure that in the UK they do plenty arrest of innocent people, and then they are proven innocent in court. But sometimes, and we have seen a lot of cases in the US, in the UK, in Europe, that they find them that they're innocent 20, 30 years after being convicted because they found some DNA evidence. So what does that mean? That means that you shouldn't arrest criminals? No.
Also, is that 75,000 people in the space of a year isn't regularly arrested by police anywhere else in the world, and that this is a unique situation with unique powers given to the security forces to make arrests on site according to criteria deemed by them.
Yes, of course, because you don't live in the world murder capital. So when you don't live in the world murder capital, it's because you don't have enough murderers to fill a prison like ours. Because the difference is that in the UK is not the world murder capital. El Salvador was, by your own accounts, the world murder capital. So if we have the world murder capital, the most dangerous place in the world, the place in the world with the most murders, why is that? Because we have the place in the world with the biggest amount of murderers. So of course, you cannot arrest 70,000 people because you don't have 70,000 murderers because you're not the murder capital of the world. But we did have 70,000 murderers, and that's just a number that coincidentally is the number that we arrested. Every study made by the World Bank, by the NGOs, by the experts, way before our government established that there were at least 70,000 gang members and 500,000 collaborators. So why do we have the biggest incarceration rate in the world? Because we changed the murder capital of the world's most dangerous country, into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. And the only way to do that is to arrest all the murderers. There's no other way to do it. So we have to arrest all the murderers. So you say, why is such a big number? Well, what do you expect? That we arrest 100 people and we leave 69,900 gang members in the streets and suddenly the murder rate will drop? Or do you expect that we, because we're Salvadorans or something, because we're second-class citizens or something, we have to die? They have to kill our families, they have to kill our children, they have to, because your liberal ideas of what a democracy should be have to be respected. And we, since we're not using your recipe, then we have to be killed. We have to let our children be killed. We have to let the bloodshed to go on for 50 years because of imported policies from your countries, because your countries had lectured us in the 80s, the war. You had a fight with the Soviet Union, had nothing to do with us. What did you do? You financed El Salvador to fight a war between us, between brothers. And we killed each other, and 85,000 Salvadorans died. After that, 1 million displaced. They went to the US, into ghettos. They formed the gangs. Then they deport the gangs. Gangs come here. You send us another recipe. Law to don't arrest minors. Okay, but all the gang members were minors at the time. So gangs grew, and then they terrorized the country. They started killing people, and we became the murder capital of the world. Nobody could solve it. We took the recipes from the OAS, we took the recipes from the UN, we took the recipes from the European Union, we took the recipes from the United States. None of the recipes worked. More bloodshed, more people were dying. So what do? Okay, we do something and we save people. And now we're the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. But suddenly something's bad. Oh, but you shouldn't do that. You should do what I think you should do. Why? Not only we have the right to do what we think is right, and what the Salvadoran people are going to decide whether or not they want this day in free elections, but also we've proven it works. And you haven't proven that your system works in our country. Might work in yours, I don't know. But it doesn't work in ours. It's like I told one time a member of the European Union, I know you Brexited that, but I told a member of the European Union, you take your best government, choose your best government. I don't know what's the best government in Europe, but you choose your best government. Same people, same talent, same experts, same will to do things the right way. You take your best government and you put him to govern Afghanistan and tell them, okay, you govern Afghanistan the same way you govern this European country. They'll be dead in a week.
Explaining his own approach to governing and why he rejects his characterization in Britain and other countries, he said the West itself was no longer free because it's no longer safe.
Hoy el mundo libre ya no es libre. Esto no es una exageración. Trágicamente vemos pruebas innegables de esta decadencia todos los días. Las nuevas amenazas de guerras continúan. Cuando el mundo libre se volvió libre, fue gracias a sus principios de libertad de expresión, igualdad ante la ley, unidad y respeto por la propiedad privada. Pero una vez una nación abandona sus principios que la hacen libre, es solo cuestión de tiempo para que pierda su libertad por completo. Las consecuencias se están desarrollando ante nuestros propios ojos. Las podemos ver. En algunas ciudades del llamado primer mundo, las tiendas necesitan asegurar sus productos detrás de puertas de vidrio con llave para evitar robos. Y no hablo ni siquiera de productos caros, sino de cosas sencillas como una barra de chocolate o una rasuradora. En otras ciudades, las calles ya no pertenecen a la gente, sino que han caído en manos de la indigencia, de las pandillas, del crimen organizado y de las drogas. No puedes reclamar el título de mundo libre si ni siquiera tu gente es libre para caminar por las calles sin temor a ser acosada, robada o asesinada. También estamos siendo testigos en tiempo real de la erosión de la libertad de expresión. Hace apenas una década, Occidente era el bastión de la libertad de expresión y ahora es sermoneado por quienes solían denunciar. Las plataformas más grandes de redes sociales en el mundo fueron obligadas a censurar a sus usuarios a petición de sus gobiernos. Ciudadanos de países occidentales han sido arrestados por compartir publicaciones en redes sociales. Los partidos gobernantes han intentado prohibir a su oposición política. Estas no son acusaciones ni teorías de conspiración, son hechos comprobables y ampliamente documentados. No se puede ganar el respeto del pueblo sin respetar al pueblo.
Donald Trump has been impressed by Bukele's swift transformation of El Salvador. The administration has toured his penal estate and signed agreements to deport criminals there from the US. Demonstrating his commitment to El Salvador's newfound safe streets, Bukele amassed thousands of troops in one town after just a rumour one gang was set to mount a comeback. Nick Dunning, GB News.